Good morning, class 7. I want all of you to turn your textbook to lesson number 8, The Most Precious Gift. Uh, let's read the story about a loving couple who had no money to buy presents for Christmas. The story goes like this. It was Christmas Eve. Della, a young woman, sat counting her savings. She counted the money 3 times. It was just $1.87. Della wanted to buy her husband, Jim, a gift for Christmas. But the money she had was very little. She knew it would not be enough to get him a nice gift, and Christmas was next day. She knew she must do something. Sadly, she sat by the window and sobbed. Della and Jim had 2 possessions of which they were very proud. One was Della's hair and the other was Jim's watch. Della had beautiful hair. It fell in long curls when she had let it down. It reached below her knees. As Della wiped her eyes, she happened to look at herself in the mirror. Suddenly, her face brightened as a thought struck her. She quickly got dressed and left the house. She walked down the street till she reached a signboard, Hair goods of all kinds. She ran up the steps to the door of the shop and on entering enquired, "Will you buy my hair?" "Let me look at your hair," said the shopkeeper. Della undid her hair and the long tresses came tumbling down. $20, said the shopkeeper. "Give it to me quick," beamed Della. Her love for her husband made the sacrifice easy to bear. She skipped out of the shop to find a present for her beloved Jim. She knew exactly what she was looking for. The one possession that Jim prized above all others was a gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's before him. The present that Della wanted to buy for him was a simple gold chain to hold his precious watch, for much as he loved it, he was still a little ashamed of using it in public because of the old leather strap he was forced to use in place of a chain. She handed over the $20, wrapped the chain up safely in a piece of colored tissue paper, and set off for home. On the way, she stopped to look in the window of her favorite shop. It sold antique knickknacks, earrings, rings, and there at the front of the window lay her favorites, a set of beautiful turquoise shell hair combs. She and Jim had stopped here the other day to admire them. She knew Jim loved her hair almost as much as his watch. Della caught a glimpse of her reflection in the window and put her hand up to her newly cut locks. What would Jim say? She was sure he'll forgive her once he saw his present. Della returned home with the gift. She cooked dinner for Jim and waited for him to return from work. As she heard his steps on the staircase, she ran to the door to greet him. When he saw his wife, Jim stood and stared at her. The look on his face frightened Della. It was not a look of anger or disapproval. He just stood there and stared. Della explained to him that she had cut and sold her hair to buy him a gift. She tried to tell him not to worry, as her hair would soon grow long again. But Jim could not answer her for some time. He put a parcel into her hands, which she soon tore open. Della gave a squeal at what she saw, but soon the joy turned into sorrow. There lay before her a pair of beautiful turquoise shell combs. She had always wanted them to tie up her hair. Jim had bought them for her as a Christmas gift, but alas, her hair was cut and sold. With a heavy heart, she handed him her gift. He opened it to find a beautiful shining watch chain. "Give me your watch. I want to see how it looks on it," said Della. Instead of obeying her, Jim sat down near her and said, "Della, let's put our Christmas gifts away for a while. They are too nice to use just now. I sold my watch to get the money to buy your combs." The two looked at each other for a moment, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Jim drew Della towards him, kissed her gently on her short curls, and said, "Thank you. Thank you for the best present I could ever have asked.